It's Our Story. John Holland, Denver, Colorado.
And, it's like, I always remember, if you kind of like just wind the thing forward to the March on Washington in 90, so we're now 15, 16 years in, and Wade comes over and says, well, we're going to crawl up the Capitol steps. And we discussed, I actually sat in my home with him and discussed what will happen when they do that. And my bet was that the president would come down to the Capitol because it's just not cool. And perhaps the greatest photograph of all time in the movement is the people on the steps of the Capitol struggling upstream. So the ADA, which had been tied up indefinitely, and I mean indefinitely, like a year, all of a sudden the president comes down and signs the thing on the Capitol steps with protesters outside. So I remember Wade got invited to the celebration signing in the Rose Garden of the ADA. And about that time he was being invited to Poland to write the Constitution, provisions for that country by the great leadership, Lech Walesa. And I remember sitting with Wade, and I could have gone with him to Washington, and because, he understood our relationship. And I said, so what are you going to do? And he said, well, somebody's wheelchair's broken. And I think I'm just going to spend the week fixing equipment. I'm a little out of shape here at the program. And I don't really think it's important to go there anyway. And I said, that seems right to me. But it always struck me that he did that. And he sent a couple of people, disabled people who weren't terribly able to speak, to the signing, because we didn't want to flaunt the president. But, there's a Chinese saying about a leader whose work is best done. When a leader whose work is best done, when that stage is reached, the people congratulate themselves, and the leader goes on to his next task. And Wade Blank liked the spotlight, and he liked the action of the spotlight when he was acting. But he didn't need and he got it anyway. It was, but it was consistent with his theology, with his personal nature, that it didn't fucking matter whether the president had invited him to the White House, and if the president had done his job, we wouldn't have had to climb the steps in the Capitol and struggle to get the bill signed. So it just wasn't important to him. And I don't really think he gave it any thought. I don't think he's going, oh my goodness, I should have gone. Just didn't care. Self-aggrandizement didn't matter much on that level. So, towards the end, I don't remember. He called me up and we went to lunch someplace. And he was almost giddy. I think we'd been fighting over, we were doing some local work together about Social Security payments for wheelchairs. It was just what we did. I mean, there were many legal things that aren't in the news media that we did, from from airplane battery carrying regulations. We wrote those regulations. He and I figured out what they should say, and we just wrote them and passed them, and they got them into law. And I'm sure some other people had their hands on them, but we were behind it because we had outraged people who were being deprived access because of acid leaks on batteries that they didn't have a box for at the airlines. I mean, we were doing stuff like that, and I think we were working on some little point relating to, it was big to the people, but from a movement standpoint, it was, getting wheelchairs purchased. It was, again, Wade had a fanatical commitment to equipment for disabled people that worked. So it didn't really have anything to do with law. He just told me we needed to deal with it. So we did, and he, of course, with a combination of demonstration and ink between us, we got that done. We went to have lunch to talk about it, and he just looked at me and he said, John, it's like I've become gold. Everything I touch, I win. And that ascension, if you will, made his death shortly thereafter particularly painful to me, because I knew he was glowing, and everything that we were doing, we were winning. We'd be so much further along than we are if he had not died, because he was turning his attention to getting the money spent on Medicaid for long-term care rerouted. And, the Mikasa movement and all of that, I believe would have been over by now. It would have been implemented by now. Because, as I like to say in the Smith litigation, we went from almshouses for the poor in America to a full-blown nursing home system with linoleum floors and multiple roommates for the nation's disabled and elderly, without a discussion.
The It's Our Story project is a national effort to make disability history public and accessible. Visit us at www.itsourstory.org or on the It's Our Story project YouTube channel.